Welcome everyone to my vlog for this March 2023. I hope this finds you in peace and plenty. I don't know what's going on where you live, but where I am, signs of spring are very slowly starting to show up. We've had a couple of spring-like days this week, which has given me hope because our winter has lasted late. It's been cold, but it's starting to feel like spring is going to come. Like any minute the crocuses are going to pop out of the ground. The forsythia is going to wake up. It's like my favorite time just to see all the plants come back to our side of the hedge, to give up their subterranean slumber and start investing in our side of the liminal gateway that is the soil. So I'm thinking a lot, of course, about gardening. I got a pretty large plot this year, so a few of us are going to pull our time and energy and try to grow lots of herbs and lots of food, and hopefully spend some good time outside, getting my hands in the dirt. I think, as a lot of folks know, and I probably brought up last month, I'm trying to think about dates. Yeah, last month we probably talked about that I chose to close my retail shop here in Salt Lake City. It was just, got too much to compete with Amazon, to compete with TikTok. It just became exhausting. And the city, I'm in the city proper, and the cost of being down here is just ridiculous. I started out in a really small, cute little storefront in a neighborhood in Salt Lake called The Avenues. My rent there was $950 a month, not too shabby. Moving just a few blocks into the city brought rent up to $4,000 a month, and it just was not sustainable. So an end of an era, retail shop closed, but right now I'm working on lots of really fun stuff, how to get product out there and how to focus more on doing what I really love, which is classes, workshops, and education. So really milling around a lot of ideas and have some stuff already in the works. So I'm really excited. Obviously, not having the retail shop has impacted me financially, not as much as it impacted me having it. So I am working right now for a friend, which has been really great, just helping him kind of tidy up his business a little bit and get some stuff done there. So that's really been nice to just have something to jump into to keep my head busy, but it's freed up a lot of time for me to work on stuff. So I guess the point here is I've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I'm not going to disappear. The green art work that I do is not going to go away. In fact, it's probably going to double in volume over the next few months as I kind of catch my breath and figure stuff out. I don't think people realize how much work it is to close a business. I didn't realize how much work it was going to be to close a business. So many loose ends to tie up and stuff to figure out and legal stuff, and it's just like exhausting. So it's almost done. I've got maybe another month and a half left of doing this stuff, and then I'm going to have a lot of free RAM to devote to these new projects. So I appreciate you being here. We have a lot of fun stuff in the works, and some stuff people have been asking for years, a long time. Finally going to get to it. The clinical herbal side, I'm still figuring that out. I don't know what the model's going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to go into private practice here in Salt Lake, or virtual practice, or just focus on the occult herbalism that I like to talk about here, or a little mix of everything. We'll see where it goes. I'm kind of trying to just take it easy and go with the flow. So with that being said, the week that this vlog is going up, I'm going to do a book party online, I think on Instagram, and I'm guilty of not spending nearly enough time talking about these two books that I wrote. So I'm going to try to start doing that more because, I'm proud of them. And I also think that there's so much in here from my practice, from how I do things. Not that anybody has to copy paste. I don't think that's the way, but that I do think there's a lot of inspiration on these pages. So if you've been curious about these, we're going to be doing a little bit more, some Instagram lives and maybe some YouTube video readings and stuff. Also going to be talking to some other folks about their work with the plants, their experiences with stuff that I think will be really inspiring to people, getting folks on Zoom and doing some little talks. If you feel like you want to be interviewed by me and you want to talk about your path with all of this, let me know. Let's jump on Zoom and record a class together. So lots of book stuff coming up. And on that note, I know that I've been taking the vlogs as an opportunity to talk about books that I'm reading, because I read a lot. I have a library of 700 plus books that mostly focus on herbal medicine, occult herbalism, plant lore, folklore, paganism, anthropology, history, all the nerdy stuff that I love. We're not doing that anymore. And the reason we're not doing that anymore is that starting next month in April 2023, I'm going to be adding a video to my monthly schedule, my monthly content schedule, that is going to focus entirely on books. People have been asking for it, and I've wanted to do it, and now I have the time to do it. So we're going to do a book club type thing where I'm going to do a video every month. I haven't figured out, I don't think, what part of the month I'm doing it, but it's probably towards the earlier part of the month, because on the 15th, we do the advanced class, and on the last day of the month, we do the Q&A, or we do Q&A, and then the vlog is like in the middle. So we'll probably do book club earlier in every month, and it's going to be like a little bit book review, a little bit, here's what I think about this book, here's what I learned from this book, what my takeaways are. If I wrote notes about the book, I'll probably share those with you too. And interestingly enough, the few that I have lined up for our first few months will include me getting to talk to the author of that book. So we'll do, me kind of doing a little review and a little overview like this, like we usually do, and then switch over to a chat between me and the author, a video chat, and just talking about their process and getting some behind the scenes and some inspiration. I don't think people realize how accessible a lot of, the authors are, the teachers are. I don't know. I've done this my whole life, that I'm like, oh, the minute somebody writes a book, they're probably getting inundated with stuff, and it's like, no, we're still just people. Like, we just go to work and do what we were passionate about, right? So I've reached out to a bunch, and everybody's been super friendly. Still working out the scheduling, because a lot of folks are, my books were actually published in London. They're from Aeon in London, which is a publisher that is the best in the best in the market of talking about herbalism, occult botany, all of that. If you're interested in the subject matter, by the way, look up Aeon. I'm going to see if I can show you the name there, Aeon, Aeon Books in London. Every book they put out has something to do with herbs and plants. It's really profound. It's really beautiful. And so I'm going to get to talk to some authors from them and some other folks that I've gotten to know, over the years and stuff. So book club, that's my big news. Book club, the beginning of the month, reviews, notes, maybe some criticisms. I don't know, probably not, because I really like pretty much everything I read. I get something out of it. And chats with authors, which is so cool. Which reminds me to tell you a story that last week, I don't know who this person is. I hope they see this, and I can share my gratitude with them this way. But last week I came into the shop to start and kind of box some stuff up, and there was this package that had been shoved through our mail slot, and somebody had purchased both of my books, probably on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or whatever, and had sent them to me with a note asking if I would, sign them and save them and send them back. And I got to say, that was like one of the coolest things I've experienced as being an author, is having some books out in the world, is that person taking the time to mail them to me to ask me to sign them for them. So I did, and I covered the cost to mail it back to them. And I've said before that I'll do that. The shop will be here for another month or two. So if you want to do that, you can just send them here to Green Thread. After that, I'll probably get a PO box, or we'll figure something out so we can keep doing that, because I think it's cool and it allows me to make the whole thing more personal and just meet people and connect with people. Because I think, a lot of us are going to cross paths at conventions or symposiums. This weekend, I am teaching at Botanica Obscura with Kobe Michael, who does Poisoner's Apothecary out of Florida. So I'm really excited for that one. The lineup is incredible. This is the first big conference that I've participated in, and I've got a couple others that I'm planning that I'll talk about later in the year. So Botanica Obscura coming up, and it's cool. We all just end up meeting each other and running into each other, or seeing each other online or whatever, and I really value that. So all the likes, all the comments, all the questions mean a lot to me. They let me know I'm not screaming into a internet void and no one's actually out there. To me, I've fought putting my classes online, my courses online for years, and did so pretty reluctantly, to realizing that the number of people who live where I live is small, and that I would really like to meet and learn from and teach with as many people as possible. And the internet creates that opportunity, but it can also feel very isolating to be alone on this side of the camera. So all the feedback, every little subscribe, every little ding that just lets me know somebody's out there and they're into it, means a ton to me. And it keeps me going, keeps me fired up, especially during times right now where closing the shop is hard. It's a loss, there's grief involved, and a ton of work. And I still have so much energy to do these classes because I'm so inspired by what folks do with their own work and how we meet in the middle and learn from one another. So thank you. I'm very, very grateful for all that. And with that, I will stop rattling. So much great content coming. Look forward to book clubs starting next month. Of course, if you have any questions or want to share anything, or want to jump on Zoom with me and do a little interview or something, send me a note. Let's talk about it. And I hope that as spring rolls in officially here next week, that yours is filled with peace and good seasons. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much.